Section 1. Benefits and Key Messages. All centres approved by APITO for the delivery of any of our training or assessment standards are required to register the certification of all competent learners with APITO. This is to provide the energy industry with access to a training repository, inclusive of all APITO certifications for individuals within the workforce. This information is stored within APITO's data management system, the Hub. This offers benefits to both the industry and the workforce, including the Hub's Certificate Validation Checker allows 24/7 access to certificate validity information, including expiry dates. A streamlined process with automated data input into the Vantage system. Vantage will be updated within minutes of input of competent learner information into the Hub, eliminating the risk of mobilisation issues at departure points. The Hub creates a central repository for all APITO certifications and qualifications for each learner, with the use of a unique APITO learner number. This learner number also simplifies the process for ensuring learners have the necessary entry requirements prior to attending training and increases data integrity. Certification is generated for the learner within minutes of confirmation of competence. This also includes a QR code for ease of instant verification of details. Within the Hub, there are 3 methods for inputting competent learner data into the Hub system. The first is via upload of a CSV file, instantly updating the system and generating certification for the learners following confirmation of competence on the applicable product. Second, through the use of the Hub as a booking system, allowing the centre to track and log the learner journey from initial booking registration right through to certification. And finally, by setting up an API with APITO to allow for the centre's internal systems to automatically update the Hub, pushing back certificates into the centre's own internal systems. If you wish to set up an API with your internal systems, please contact APITO directly to begin the process. This video includes a number of sections which explain how to carry out the input of learner data into the Hub. Once you have watched the relevant section for your preferred method, please refer to the end of this video for a recap and further support. Section 2. Using the Hub to check learner entry requirements and certificates validation. Individual learner records can be found by providing the relevant information and selecting Search Learners. Selecting an individual record will show the personal details held within the system. Clicking on the Achievements tab will display the learner's certificates, allowing their validity and expiry dates to be checked for any product-specific entry requirements. The Hub's Certificate Validation Checker allows centres, employers and industry to verify the validity of any APITO certificate. To do this, use the link for the validation checker and provide the learner's surname and the certificate number for the certificate being checked. By clicking Validate Certificate, information on the validity and expiry of the certificate will be shown. The validation checker also has a feature where multiple certificates can be uploaded for validation at the same time. This is carried out by clicking Click here to validate multiple certificates. A template is available to download to input the required data. An example is being shown on screen. This can then be saved and uploaded to the checker by choosing the file and clicking Upload Data File. Following successful upload, the information for all certificates is displayed on screen. Section 3, Option 1, Registering Competent Learner via CSV. This section of the video explains how to carry out Option 1, uploading learner data into the Hub via a CSV file, following confirmation of competence against an APITO-approved standard. Prior to uploading the CSV file, it is important to ensure that the template has been completed correctly. An example is being shown on screen and can also be found within the Documents tab in the Hub. The first row holds the headings for the data to be input in row 2. The first information required is the start date and end date for the course. The end date will generate the course expiry date, and this will also be included on the certificate, so it is important that this is accurate. If the learner has returned to complete any outcomes in which they were deemed not yet competent, then the start date should be entered as the first date of the initial training course, and the end date should be the date the final not yet competent outcome was achieved. The centre code will be automatically input by the system when the file is uploaded from the centre's account, so this can be left blank. The product code should be entered for the product in which the learner has been deemed competent. This will be used to update the learner's records in both the Hub and in Vantage, so it's essential that this code is correct. The booking reference number will always be the PITO 105, and so this field has been pre-populated in the template. Row 4 outlines the headings for the data to follow in the columns, which are now specific to the learner. The learner count column acts as a tally to identify each learner on the course, and this should increase in numerical order. The next column is that of the APITO learner number, where a learner has previously completed any APITO certificate or qualification. They will have an existing APITO learner number. Their APITO learner registration form will identify whether this is applicable. Previous APITO certification or qualifications include standards, global qualifications, any modern apprenticeship programme achievement, and open learning courses. There is a possibility that learners may have identified that they have completed an APITO product previously, however they have not identified their APITO learner number. The APITO learner number can therefore be located by searching in the Hub. To do this, select the Learners tab and then select the hyperlink for Search Learners. On this page, insert the information that has been provided for the learner, for example first name, surname, Vantage ID and date of birth. The more information input into the search, the more accurate the search results will be. From the results provided, the user can identify the correct learner, obtain their learner number and input this into the file. The next column is for the Vantage ID. Similarly to the APITO learner number, this can be found within the APITO learner registration form. Again, the learner could have identified that they have a Vantage number, however they may not have detailed the number itself. In this instance, the learner can be searched for in the Hub using the same method as before. It is important to locate the APITO learner number or Vantage number where possible, as this allows the system to match the learner to an existing record, ensuring that the details generated on their certificate are correct and that their learner records are consolidated accordingly. Columns D and E are for the learner's name, first name being in column D and surname being in column E. This should be entered as an accurate reflection of the learner's government-issued ID to decrease the risk of multiple records being created for the same learner. The next column is for the learner's date of birth. It is important that the date of birth is entered in the same format that is showing on screen, with the day followed by the first 3 letters of the month and then the last 2 digits of the year. This date format has been adopted globally as the most accurate way for maintaining course dates for data integrity. The final column, column G, is for forward dating. Any date entered against a learner will override the course end date and generate the new expiry date from here. The date entered should be the current certificate's expiry date. The date issued can only be within a 3-month window of the course end date, due to forward and back dating requirements. For information on how to calculate a forward or back date, please refer to the document Registering and Certifying Learners with APITO. Once information has been input for each competence learner on the course, the file should be saved. Please ensure when saving the file that it is saved with the file type CSV. The file can then be uploaded. This is done by logging into the Hub and accessing the Learners tab. On the right-hand side of the screen there is a button for More Learner Actions, and from clicking this a drop-down will appear. From the drop-down menu, please select Upload Learner Data. Select the data format APITO Data and add a description. Whatever is included in this description field can be used later to search for multiple bookings. It is therefore recommended that this is something unique for the booking. The example being used on screen is the course dates and the class name. Next, click on Upload Data File. The screen will show the status as pending. The upload should only take a couple of minutes, and by refreshing the page, the status will change to show successful. If the status shows as failed, how to access this information to correct it will be explained at the end of this section of the video. Once the successful upload has been confirmed, the certificates can be downloaded. To do this, click the hyperlink to the booking which has been created for the learner. From here, enter the Learner Details section and click Certificates. From the Download Type drop-down, select the option for eCerts PDF. Learners can then be selected individually or by clicking Select All. Finally, click Download Selected and the zip file will be generated with all of the available learner certificates. Where a failed status has shown following upload of data file, the error message can be reviewed by clicking File Details next to the relevant file. Click Log File and an error message will download. For more information on what has caused the error message, please refer to the Registering and Certifying Learners with EPITO document, which explains each of the likely error messages. Section 3, Option 2, Utilising the Hub as a Booking System. Part 1, Creating the Booking. This section of the video outlines the processes to follow for Option 2, where a centre wishes to use the Hub as their booking system for EPITO-approved training. We will explore how to create bookings for each individual course, register learners onto the created courses, apply forward and backdating rules, cover those returning to complete not yet competent outcomes, confirm competence, and generate and download learner certificates. Prior to registering any learners onto a course, the first step is to create the course booking form within the Hub. Each course or class requires its own booking form. To do this, log into the Hub and select the tab RegInsert. Then select Create a Booking. The EPITO Standards booking form should then be selected, followed by the product applicable to the course. Finally, click on Create Booking. The form should be updated to reflect the dates on which the course will be running. Select Change Start Date and input the start date of the course. A rationale is required, and the user can enter that the course start date is confirmed and save this note. In the same way, the course end date can be selected by clicking Change End Date. Next, the section for class or cohort details should be updated to provide information on the course. Class-specific information can be entered into the text box, and this information will update the booking form title. This will then make it easy to identify which class each booking form applies to when registering the learners onto the course. The booking will then be open and available within the RegInsert tab to register learners onto the course. Section 3, Option 2, Utilising the Hub as a Booking System, Part 2, Registering Learners. When a learner registers onto a course, they can be added to the booking form applicable to that course. The filter can be used to locate the appropriate booking form by typing in keywords based on the naming convention the centre has chosen to use. The learner will have, at this point, provided the centre with the completed first section of the EPITO Learner Registration Form. The form will confirm whether the learner has previously completed any EPITO certifications or qualifications, whether the learner has an existing Vantage ID, and whether the learner has previously completed any EPITO-approved training at that specific centre. This information can be useful when adding the learner to the course. Where the learner has specified that they have an existing Vantage ID, but they have not provided the number itself, this can be found using the Search Learner feature. Similarly, where the learner has identified that they have previously completed any EPITO certifications or qualifications, however they are unaware of their EPITO learner number, the information can be obtained by using the Search Learner feature. Finding the EPITO learner number is only possible where the learner has also previously carried out EPITO-approved training at that specific centre. To search for the learner in the Hub, log into the Hub, select the Learners tab, and from here, input all the information available for the learner and click Search Learners. The system will then show potential records matching the information. When copying the EPITO learner number or the Vantage ID from here, it is important to be certain that this is the correct record being used. This information can then be used to register the learner onto the course. To add the learner to the booking, move to the RegInsert tab. Select the relevant booking form and enter the Learner Details section. The learner can now be added using either the option to add a new learner or add existing learner. The existing learner feature can only be used where the learner has identified that they have previously completed a PITO-approved training at the specific centre. It should, however, be noted that if the training was carried out prior to the centre's launch of the hub for registration and certification activities, then they should be added as a new learner. Enter all the data available, ensuring that the learner's name is an accurate reflection of their government-issued ID. Click Create Learner and Add to Booking. If the learner has previously been registered at the centre, the system will identify the learner and provide the option to use an existing learner record. If the learner is not a match with the identified record, then continue with option 2 to add a new learner. If a learner cancels their place on the course, they can be removed from the booking. This is done by clicking Registration Details next to the relevant learner, then clicking Remove from Booking. Once course registration has been completed and no more learners are to be added or removed from the booking, the Submit Registrations button should be used. Section 3, Option 2, Utilising the Hub as a Booking System, Part 3, Awarding Learners. If forward or backdating is to be applied to any learners on the course, this date is to be entered at this time. To add this date, enter the Learner Details section of the relevant booking form, select the option Manage Learner Dates from the drop-down list, select Deselect Learners, select any learners for whom forward or backdating is to be applied. From the Select Deselect Components drop-down, select the product's title. The course end date should be amended to that of the previous certificate's expiry date. The specified value should be selected as forward dated. For more information on calculating forward or backdating, please refer to the Registering and Certifying Learners with a PITO document. Following confirmation of competence, the course booking is to be updated to reflect the outcomes. This is done by entering the relevant booking form and selecting the Learner Details section. Within this section, the user will now use the Grading View option. The relevant units can now be marked as either achieved or not yet achieved, as appropriate. There is also the option to apply passing grade to all, which will mark all units for all learners on the course as achieved. For the purpose of this video, one learner is having the helicopter underwater escape unit marked as not yet achieved. Once all the awards have been input accurately, use Save Changes to confirm these. Please refer to the next section of this video for information on how to generate and download certificates and complete the booking. Referring back to the learner who was deemed not yet competent against the helicopter underwater escape unit, if they return to complete the product, a new booking form should be created for this learner only. The new booking form should be created with the course start date reflecting the date the original course commenced. The course end date should reflect the date the learner has returned to complete the not yet competent unit. If forward dating still applies, this is entered in the same manner as previously outlined. The previously awarded units will be identified within the grading view, and the remaining unit can be reassessed and marked as achieved or not yet achieved. Section 3, Option 2, Utilising the Hub as a Booking System. Part 4, Certifying Learners. Upon course completion and following confirmation of competence for the applicable learners on the course, the certificates should be generated and downloaded for issue to the learners. This is done within the Learner Details section of the form, under the tab Certificates. The status of the certificates may show as pending directly after the words have been entered. If the page is refreshed after a few minutes, it will then show the available e-certs for the learners. To download these, select the download type as eCerts PDF, select the learners using the checkbox beside their name, or by using the Select All option at the top of the page. Finally, click Download Selected. This will generate a folder with certificates for all the selected learners. These can now be issued to the learners. The form should now be closed using the Close Form button. Once monthly, the system will automatically close any open booking forms in which all learners on the form have been deemed competent against the product. Once the booking is closed, it will no longer be displayed within the Reg and Cert tab. The advanced search, however, can be used to search for closed bookings. Section 4. Recap, Key Points and Further Support. To recap, the Hub acts as a repository for all APITO achievements, including all certifications and qualifications issued by APITO. This allows centres to utilise the Hub for a means of checking the learners can meet the product entry requirements regarding previous APITO certification. All learners who have been deemed as competent on an APITO approved standard must be registered and certified within the Hub, using any of the 3 options described in this video. Upon confirmation of competence, learners are to be awarded within the Hub, and this information is utilised to generate appropriate learner certificates and update the training repository accordingly. Information will be passed to Vantage within minutes following the award of the product, ensuring a streamlined process between the systems. If any errors have been identified following confirmation of award, please contact a member of the APITO data management team as soon as possible. APITO has developed supporting documentation for each area of the processes outlined within these videos. A guide is available within the document library in the Hub for registering and certifying learners with APITO. This guide also includes information on how to apply forward and backdating to course certification, including scenarios. Additionally, this document provides information on potential error messages associated with the upload of a CSV file. The APITO data management team can be contacted for any issues which cannot be closed out with the use of the support guide. Lastly, to hear more about option 3, in which centres create an API to automatically upload data to the Hub, please contact APITO directly.